Hello, my name is Sharon. I am just kicking off a live. We're going to give people a few minutes to join here. Um, and if you're joining on the replay, please let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Let me know if you've used IOD transfers before or DIY paint. And let me know how you found me. I'm always curious how people find me. Yep. So it's 6 o'clock Pacific time here in Washington. So probably missed some of the bedtimes of some people on the East Coast, or who knows, maybe they're just up and getting going for the day. I don't know. So I'm gonna give a quick introduction here. As you join on and join the live, please let me know where you're watching from and where you learned about IOD and how you found me, Sharon, the accidental art maker. So if you're new to me or accidental art maker, I've been painting furniture for about 10 years. And about 2 years ago, I decided to make it official by becoming an IOD stockist. And that was quickly joined by DIY paint and then made by Marley decoupage paper. And now I'm selling recycled. So if you're kind of like in the circles or like slowly like learning about this culture of ours for women who are about 40 plus, midlife and older, using art to help rediscover ourselves or redefine ourselves, or what do I do now? This is the place for you for sure. Yeah, so I've been working on, first of all, I'm obsessed with this brush, in case you couldn't tell. This is one of the new DIY brushes, and it's called the multi. I did this last time. It's my favorite brush, but I can't remember its name. I have fog brain today. The multi-purposer. I am not a good salesperson. If you know the name of this brush, put it in the comments, please, so other people can see it. But it's a DIY brush. It's got these fabulous bristles. I've used this one already several times for painting and for waxing. Cleaning is super easy. I just use a little bit of liquid detergent because my cleaning stick is in my laundry room. I just put a tiny bit in a cup and it washes the wax and the paint right off. I did not use it for the top coat for this that I used the other day. I used wasn't this smoothie, but it was one of the other brushes. Okay, so Christine is coming on here to save my butt. Yes, it's the multitasker. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. I started working on this bureau last Thursday night. I'm gonna push this away a little bit so you guys can get a better look at it. And it's I found out from a friend today that it is a hey Dee. Hey, California, welcome. But this is a post right after World War II. They spit out a ton of this cheap. Unfortunately, it was kind of cheap because you had these military guys coming back from World War II, starting a family, and they needed furniture. So you could find these in a catalog. They would come in a set, and they would show up at your house, and boom, you're ready to go. So this has been in sad shape and sitting in my garage for about the last year because I knew it needed a lot of work and I didn't think it was worth the investment of my time and money into it, which can happen, right? It looks really good on Facebook, buy nothing, and then you show up and the stuff is peeling off the side. So what I decided to do was kind of like a mercy painting. You know what? I'm going to just throw on a bunch of paint on this. I needed to paint something big anyways. So I'm going to throw some paint on this and I'm going to play and I'm going to explore. I'm going to work with blending. And so that's the last time you might have seen me live with this. I have painted this whole thing with Kissing Booth, this hot pink from DIY. And we got Vicky from Olympia watching. Yes, I love Olympia. It's one of my favorite places in Washington State. The Hoh Rainforest and the beach there are quite amazing. So anyways, yeah, so back to this. I painted it all pink, and then I took Summer Crush and White Swan and the Kissing Booth. And I have videos. I'll be putting together a compilation to share with you soon. But I painted the sides here in the Kissing Booth, and then the middle I put down a straight orange streak of Orange Crush, and it was way too much. And so I came in with the white, and I just started blending. And I started on this side, and I went down this side, and then I moved over to this side over here, and started blending things over here. It's kind of hard to tell because I got a little bit of a glare coming off, but it's like this really pretty peachy right here. I'm going to bring you guys in a little bit closer so you can see let's see here. Okay. Yeah, so you can see better there. This peachy color streak going down the middle, and then it kind of get lighter pink, and it goes back out to the Kissing Booth. And then the handles were these plastic. Well, this ring right here is plastic, and then this was metal. Very pretty. I also found out I probably could have sold the handles for like $60 for all of them, but that's okay. I took, it's another DIY product called Pennies from Heaven. I just got a bunch in today. It's this really pretty copper color, and let me open it up just to show you guys, in case you haven't. So let me open it up here. It's really pretty for highlighting things like this. It is a copper patina, and it's super easy to do. The way I do it is I just dip my finger in it, and then I go like a light overcoat like that, and it gets the raised edges. I'll do one more little bump here so you guys can see it. Yeah, maybe you can see a little bit in there. But it's a super easy way to apply this patina, and I like using my finger on handles that have raised edges like this, and also molds with my fingertip. I can kind of feel what's happening and what's not happening, and adjust accordingly. So, and then I put a top coat on this on top of the transfer. And tonight what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be, the camera so you can see me, I'm going to be using clear wax, and I'm going to put clear wax. I probably am just going to do half, because waxing can take a little bit. It's like painting. It can take a little bit of time. So I'm going to wax half of it with clear wax, and then I'm going to experiment a little bit with white wax and dark wax, so you can see how those can play into your furniture and what you decide. Oh, and there's one more thing I have to tell you. Along the sides here, so you push this over here, so you can see here, this color is much bolder than even the Kissing Booth right here. I used our making powders. I used Date Night, and so I had the Kissing Booth paint out, and I dipped my brush from Kissing Booth into the powder, and I just painted it straight on. So it pops the sides out a little bit more, which I really like. And it kind of gave the overall bureau like a really pretty frame of the Botanist transfer right here. You may have seen a couple of reels of me putting the Botanist, laying it down here. I'll be turning it into a video, so if you're new to transfers, it was a really easy transfer to put on, super pretty. And if you saw the thumbnail for this video, you saw like it was not pretty to start with. Like, this has gotten a great facelift, and I probably could just leave it as it is now, sell it at an upcoming art fair, letting people know that this is a few good years left in it to treat it with kid gloves. The drawers work great, but there's definitely peeling happening on the sides, and just to leave it be. Yeah, Kayleen, I love it too. It just feels so much more like something you want to have in your home, and it could definitely be a statement piece in a room. I was totally picturing this like next to like a flowing white curtain with flowers on top with maybe some books, and I'm trying to figure out how to stage it. But I'm really happy with how it came out. Let's put some wax on and see what the wax does to it. And let's play around a little bit with white wax and dark wax so you can see how that also brings out some of the details like up in here will make them pop out just a little bit. Sound good? Thank you, Christine. Yep. Yep. I do love it. I do love this one. Okay. So let's get going. I'm going to move up here. I'm gonna change the camera a little bit. Let's see, I want to be using wax over here. I'm gonna turn the camera up. I'm trying to get it so you don't get too much of a shine, but there's really no avoiding it. All right, let's get going. So I'm using the multitasker, and I've got. I don't want to use white. When you're waxing, you always want to start out with clear wax, unless you're feeling brave. Now, if you're feeling brave and you're comfortable with different colored waxes, I say, go for it. But the thing about putting clear wax on first is that if you put on clear wax and you put in, like, say, I'm going to come in here with some dark wax, and if I don't like it, I should be able to wipe it right off. And then kind of back out of my little experiment if I want to. The other thing I'm kind of curious to do today too is to take the white wax and use some of the making powders. I don't know, maybe I'll use some of that up in here. But then if I do that, I break this line. So I'm not sure if I want to do that. I might just be curious and kind of come in here a little bit with it to see what that looks like. But let's just get started with the clear wax. So I got my little jar here. I've got my multitasker brush. So I've used other high industry standard waxes before. This is a little bit different. It's much softer, and it does feel like I'm working with butter on a warm summer day. And it goes on really easy. It just paints on, just glides on. Going down here, I don't have to rub it in or be super hard with it. I wanted to do the wax because I figured this would be getting some, this is copper patina too. And now I'm putting wax on top of that. If I was doing like a painting that was going to be hanging on the wall, I might not put wax on it. I might just be happy with the top coat on top of the transfer, kind of securing things in. Kind of depends what mood I'm in. So I can be a very tactile person, and I like things to feel welcoming. And to me, when I have the wax on a piece, it feels welcoming. I hope that doesn't sound too weird. All right. So here we go down here. I'm putting the wax right on top of the transfer, going right down the side here. If you guys have any questions, throw them in the comment section. I will answer them. And if you're just joining, let us know where you're watching from. I'm curious to know. I know some of you on here have used IOD before and DIY. If you have any extra tips to share, feel free to help me out and share them. Anything that you've discovered along the way. All right, I'm going to point my camera down just a little bit. You can keep on watching me. I need to take close-ups and share with you guys. So you can kind of see in the camera here how this is a different, a little bit bolder popping out color than this over here on the side. It looks so pretty in person. All right, so I'm just kind of going back and forth. I want to make sure I get in these nooks and crannies here. After you wax your piece, it generally takes a couple of weeks to cure. You can still move pieces around, but you want to be super careful about it. This will not be going down to the fair for another month, so I got plenty of time. Let's sit down here. Okay. So if you're curious to see what this looks like on the inside of the jar, I'm not using that much. I'm just putting a tiny bit on the top of my brush, and a little bit goes a long way. I know I said I was only going to do half of the jar, but now it's good. I'm turning into it, doing the whole thing. So this transfer, super beautiful, super stunning. For me, it's when I first saw it, I thought it was very pretty. I tend to like the bigger, bolder flowers on my pieces. But I kept looking at this and I was like, I really want to find a place to put this on something. So it worked out great with this bureau. All right, now what's doing here? Can you guys see that? Yeah. Let me turn the camera down just a little bit more. Okay. So down here, where the paint was a little bit lighter, the wax is coming in. You see that? See what the wax is doing there? It's really emboldening it. That's kind of catching me a little bit by surprise. I know I painted this whole thing with a big top, but it still looks really pretty. Let's see. Did I miss this? No, I didn't miss this. I'm going to take a smaller brush and get this inside these handles. Oh, wait a minute. There, I got it. Did I get it in there? I want to make sure I get those spots. Now, you can really be kind of rough with these. I'm just going to go in like that and just kind of jam the wax into these nooks and crannies here. Go a little bit more. I'm just lightly tapping here. And then I'm going to offload just a little bit of it before I jam it in there. Let's see. Get in there. Yeah, there we go. So pretty. Let's go on the side here. See, you can see all the way down. Yeah, see how it's popping out? Ooh. Let's see here. We got a few comments. The framing is a great idea. Yeah, that kind of like was one of those inspirational moments, Kayleen. Carla, hello from Georgia. Welcome, Carla. Good to have you here. Rana, my neighbor across the river. Good to see you. Rana, I don't know if you saw the before picture. But you should check it out. You'll have a more appreciation for it. Do I have to buff this wax? I will come back in and give it a light buffing tomorrow, and it'll bring out some shine for sure in here. But it's not. It is not like a. It is not an arm workout. It's a very light, I'll do a very light buffing with it. All right. This wax easily washes off the brush too. I think I mentioned that it is easy to wash off. All right, I'm just gonna come on over here. I'm gonna get in here. All right, I got a bristle. Let's get rid of that. So if you haven't used one of these DIY brushes before, when you first get them, they can smell a little bit like the glue that is used to glue them together. And I'm trying to get rid of this bristle here. And then you want to give it a rinse with water to rinse out any loose bristles. It shouldn't lose that many. And then that's actually the first bristle I've seen, but I'm kind of come out of the brush while I've been working on it, but it's been, I'm being a little bit rough with it and jamming it into places. All right, let me get this down here. Okay. All right, that looks good. I'm just gonna go a little bit extra here. I'm gonna turn my camera up for you guys to see it. All right, that is, I'm wondering if I missed that spot there with the big top. I'm kind of guessing I did because we'll come back tomorrow and see what that looks like. So big top is like it's a top coat. Yeah, let's do this side over here. I must have missed this panel. Well, and that's okay. It still looks really kind of cool. Let's get in here. Get in the handles. Yeah, I just wanted to see. I must have, like, in my methodology, somehow managed to miss that. So it happens, right? It's art. I probably got probably when my kids came out. I'm gonna blame it on the kids. But they came out and interrupted me. Okay, so I still have some more with the clear wax to do. I'm gonna come back to that. Yep, let's see here. Let's get you in. Okay, now what I want to do is I've got that clear wax in there, and I'm going to come in with some white wax, and I'm curious to come in here. Thanks, Rana. So I got this white wax. It looks really pretty like this. I'm kind of like hesitant to put any white wax on, but I did want to try white wax on these handles because I was imagining if the handles of these popped up just a little bit more. So let's try one and see what happens. So I'm going to zero in on this handle right here. I've got my white wax. I'm going to take a much smaller brush. This is just kind of like an old Michaels standby. And I got my white wax. Ooh, all right. And that's a lot went on this little tiny brush. So I'm offloading a bunch of it back on here. And now I'm going to just come in here. Let's see what this does. Come in here. We'll get in some of these nooks and crannies. We'll do a little bit so that if we end up not liking it, we can undo. All right, so I'm going to be wiping this back, so don't worry about that. All right, I'm going to get this. I'm going to wipe it back. What do you guys think? I'm kind of liking it. I'm kind of liking it. Any thoughts out there? TJ, is that Mr. TJ from Vancouver? Let's see. So, Brona, you're saying yes to the white. You can kind of see it up here and compare it to this one. See how it's popping a little bit more? I like it too because I think it's giving it more dimensional look. So I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do the rest of this handle. Let's see. I'm gonna grab a little bit more wax. And I'm just gonna go in these nooks and crannies in here. I'm gonna do a little bit around the outside here. Now this ring right here is made of plastic. It is a different material than this outside handle. So it could respond differently to the wax. But let's just see what happens. Okay. Christine likes the white, and TJ says, nope, from Florida, love the white. All right, well, welcome, TJ. What does TJ stand for? All right, now I'm gonna wipe back. Oh, that looks so pretty. Okay. Okay, so yes, that is a yes. It's not doing much to the plastic, which is fine. It's dialing back the copper a little bit. And then in these areas where you see where I've left it heavy, it's kind of giving it a little bit of an aged effect. Let's pull back. Oh, I like it. Aw, you're in the hospice. I'm so sorry. Oh, you're the hospice doctor. Okay. I know who you are. Not used to you going by TJ. So welcome. I guess you want to stay the mysterious TJ. So we'll do that. Oh, Tootie Joe, the nickname my mom gave me as a child. Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. I have to ask, like, Tootie as in, tooting. Oh, thank you, Rana. Okay. I'm going to do another handle. And I'm going to bring the camera back in, but I'm going to point it down. You know what? I need to lower this. So stay with me here as I lower this so you guys can get a really good view. And then I've got a little tripod here. Okay, that's up close and personal. All right, let's do this. All right. Coming in here. I'm just going to lay it on thick, like I usually do. Okay, let's get in here. Okay, so I want a little bit outside the lines. That's okay. Oops, now look what I did. You guys, look what I did right there. Okay, so that's why we put on clear, because it's going to wipe right off like that. And then I can come in here and do that. But now I'm going to return back, and I'm going to keep coming in here. That's a lot of wax. I really don't need to use that much wax to get the effect that I'm going for here. All right, I'm going to, do you want to get this? Yeah, that top right there. Okay, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to take a little, look, I missed a little spot over there. I did carry the parts of the transfer onto the handle here because I was curious to know what that would look like. And I think that's part of our creativity, is being curious and just going to see what happens, right? Like, what's the worst thing that could happen here is I wipe the wax off and it goes back to the way it was, or it's too late and I'm stuck with it. But guess what? Somebody else is going to like it. And also, I have learned something. Okay. Let's come in here. So yeah, it looks like I've covered it in toothpaste or something, or in Desitin, if you guys remember that stuff. Now I'm just going to wipe back. I love it. It's giving it this really pretty frosted look. Come in here and just get some details right here. And then wiping, well, when I wipe it back, it really wipes all the way off. So I'm going to leave it on lightly and leave it there. Then I'm going to do the same thing over here on this side. All right, so that is our white wax. What do you guys think? You guys want to see one more, or do you want to see something with black wax? Or sorry, it's actually dark wax. It's not black. Whoops. No, I didn't mean. Oh, yeah. So it could be. Your mom had a sweet nickname for you based on bodily functions. That's awesome. Yeah, the oxidation look. I like it too. You can kind of see when I pull back here. Let me pull the camera up. So it's a little bit heavier on the bottom one. I am going to come in and just wipe this out a little bit more. Yeah, it does have an oxidized look to it. It's going to be really cool when it's dried. Whoops. Now I got a little bit of transfer coming off that you can't tell. That's fine. All right. I think that's looking really good. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tootie Joe. All right. So I'm going to leave these white for sure. But let's just do a little bit of exploration with some dark wax so you guys can see what that looks like. And then I want to see what dark wax. Sorry about the camera wobbling around here, guys, but that's my tripod. All right, my TV studio here is you know, it is what it is. Okay, so now I've got, so I want to see, let's pull back a little bit. Okay. Let's pull back. Can't pull back much more because I got my cord here. Let's see what happens when I do that. Okay, so let me come in and see what you guys can see. Oh yeah, that pink does remind me. It's like a very French feel. Okay, so I'm thinking about a little bit of dark wax in here, just to see what it looks like, just to see how it changes it. And then, like I said, I can always wipe it off if I don't like it. I have been thinking about doing dark wax along here, but that would, if I put something in this line, it would break this color here and how it's kind of just flowing and down off the whole bureau, and I don't want to do that. So maybe I can come in here and like just find little spots just to darken it just a little bit. I don't know. Could be pretty. It might not work at all. So I'm gonna do in here just a little bit, and then we'll make a decision if we like it or not. All right, so I'm pulling the camera back in. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So now I'm gonna get. So with I don't use dark wax that much. I'm not typically, usually you can use this and it ages your pieces a little bit. It makes them a little bit more grungy. And I'm not that much into grungy or aging this way. I like my bright colors. But for those of you who are curious, let's come in here and we're just going to do a little bit. I'll make sure this is dark. Pretty sure this is dark and not black. All right, I'm just going to come in here and I just have another little cheapy brush, and I'm just doing a little bit in the corner here, and I'm going to take it. I think I'm going to take it along this line right here. And so I'm hitting the bottom of the bureau, but also this piece of wood right here. It could look really pretty. Who knows? All right, let's see. Let's come in here. Let me turn off my whatever's, something keeps dinging in here. All right. All right. So yeah, so I'm just in here. I'm just putting in some brush marks. I'm going to go a little bit more on this little rim right here. I kind of like defining it, but again, I'm getting kind of close to that line I was telling you I didn't want to get close to. And now I'm going to come in. See how it just disappears? It just went right back. I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to rub this in just a little bit. Just a light touch. Don't be too heavy-handed. Yeah, it's okay. Like, this doesn't do much for me. I'm not, let me bring this a little bit closer so you can kind of see there where it to me, it makes it look older. I'm not a big fan of it. I like, you can see this side. I just like that clear pink line over there. So, but I'm going to leave this though, because I think it's okay. The other thing too, I think about with is, you know, perfect symmetry to me gets boring, right? Like, why shouldn't this side be a little bit different than the other side? Let's pull back. Okay. So yeah, I might put a little bit more over here of the dark wax because I'm curious now. After I've made that statement about symmetry is boring. But I am going to come in here and just do a little bit. Maybe a little bit over here. And it just paints on. All right. Then I'm going to just come in just a little bit. You know, I might come out a little bit more over here. All right, and now I'm going to grab my cloth. You guys can't really see it that well. Let me show you. Just a little bit. Just a gentle touch, and I'm kind of blending it in a little bit. Not too much. It breaks up the pink a little bit. That's good. Just a wee bit. All right. Now let's pull back and look at the whole thing. That's one of the things I like to do when I'm working on something, especially if I've been up close and personal, is take 5 big steps backwards and just close your eyes for 5 seconds and then pop open your eyes. And what's the first thing that you think when you look at it? So like I'm thinking, I need to blend that just a little bit more over here and then there's. Christine says, age this beauty up. No. Yeah, it does give it a more age look. Maybe I want to just look like me. Yes, age is like, we do grow. Yeah, just I think a little black. I think just a little bit for accents, but not an overall thing. Yeah, it does give an age look. Yeah. Okay. And then sometimes I take a picture of it. That's a good idea. Sometimes I have to leave it alone. Sometimes I have to go spend the night away from it and come back and look at it in the morning. Yeah, you like chippy and crusty, Christine. Yep, that does, for some reason that does not surprise me. Christine owns an antique store nearby, so she's surrounded by chippy and crusty. All right, let's see here. So the other thing I wanted to experiment with is some white wax with the making powder in it. And I'm not really sure where there's good place. So like this has this is the pink with the kissing booth with the making powder blended into it. I'm thinking let's try, okay, we're gonna try in this raised area right here. Okay, I think that's what we're gonna do. All right, that's what we're gonna try. So I'm back to my white wax. But I really like that dark area right there though. Okay, we're gonna try it on the thing that already has the making powder on it. And we're just gonna try, we're gonna put some white here. This is kind of an experiment, guys. I don't know what happens when you use making powder. So making powder has a lot of different things you can do with it. Like I like to use it for watercolors and glazes, but I haven't used it with wax before. So I just dipped my brush just straight on in, and I'm gonna come in here. Let's see, can I mix the wax and the making powder together on the surface? What happens? So now that's much lighter. It's not white anymore, right? Oh, I should have done let's see what looks like white before I add the color to it. All right, so let's see. All right, I'm gonna wipe this back just to see what happens. It's probably hard for you guys to tell, but there's still a little bit of white in here, and it actually looks really pretty. But I can't tell that I used it's not white. It is colored with the making powder, so it's actually kind of pretty. All right, let's do a little bit more. Okay, so now I got this big thing of white wax, and I do not want to dip my brush in it because it will ruin the rest of the white wax. So, and I don't have a spoon, so I'm going to do something. I'm actually going to take my finger into the wax, and I'm just going to come in here and do this. Okay. It's like finger painting, but with wax. All right. And now I'm coming back. Got my making powder. And let's see. Let's just see what happens. So I did like a tiny little experiment to see if I liked it, and I kind of liked it. So now I'm doing a bigger experiment. A little bit of the making powder goes a long way, as you can tell. If I dip it back in here and kind of go back over, it gets darker. And these are fun things, I think, too. It's part of art, is the experimenting. What do I like? What do I don't like? What was a mistake that now is something I'm going to be a technique that I'm going to be doing forever? Yeah, I like it too. It's pretty. Let's get in here. Let's come up in here. And we will be wiping back. It's kind of blending right on in. The more making powder that I use, the more it kind of blends in with the making powder that was already there. All right, let's wipe it back a little bit and see what happens. Okay. It didn't really do much. I don't think it did much. What do you guys think? It's almost like I pretty much just left it on and left it off. Let's take a step back. Yeah, it doesn't look much different. It doesn't look much different from when I started, I think. All right, so let's do this. Now I'm just going to come in with white, because I did kind of like the white in the cracks. Let's just go back over with white. I have to tell you, my wax is, it's not as, it's definitely, I'm out in my garage in 80-degree heat. So it is a little bit, it's not as firm as it usually is, like if I'm working on the inside. Okay. And I'm just being really gentle, which is hard for me because I tend to be pretty heavy-handed. And I'm just doing like a really gentle wipe here. Yeah, it's a little shinier. Yeah, I think we're good. Like, I kind of feel like I'm done experimenting with the white wax and the pigment color from the making powder. I'm thinking, whoops, I want to get the cord out of your way here. Sorry about that. Yeah, but I'm thinking I just need to finish the rest of the handles and give it this. I think this is the last thing I do. I think I do the clear wax on the rest of it, and then I come into the rest of the handles and I do this effect to it. And then I think that's enough. I don't think I really need much of anything else. Any thoughts from you guys? Anybody? Any thoughts? All right. I think I'm done. Oh, I'm done for this show. I'm going to go in and do the rest of the handles on the bureau. And then I'll post some finished pictures, hopefully tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stage it, though, until the weekend and finish up and pop out a video. So if there are those of you who have never used a transfer before, let me know in the comments, and I will be sure to add a little bit more transfer knowledge to you guys in the video. And then I did blending, so if you guys are curious to see blending, let me know that. I'm happy to do some blending as well. The video, I took video just about everything that I did, and I would like to put it together so that you guys can use it. And I hope you have fallen in love with the Botanist. Christine, I hope you're not scared of lots of pink anymore. So, Christine, you would like to see both. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Both blending and transfers. Okay, we'll do. Gotcha. And then, oh, thank you, Rana. That's so sweet of you. You are amazing too. Everybody on here taking time to watch and learn. I really super duper appreciate you guys. And I think that you are amazing too. And we're doing amazing things together. I mentioned this in another video. Like, I really think we're part of like a culture change going on right now. And women are our age and in this part of our life, like, come in here so I can lecture you face to face. Yeah, I do think that we are part of something that's going to be a part of art history culture, which is, and I know this happened a little bit after the 50s too, like there was, like after World War II, people were painting furniture. But I really do believe that we are people are going to see this as a start of something where women our age, midlife and older, just didn't, go picking oranges, in a grove somewhere, or sat down on the sofa and watched TV the rest of her life. Like, we've got things to do. We have things to create. We have things to make. We've got statements to express, right? And If you love making art, big or small, sewing, photography, clay, whatever it is, find a way to do it. I've talked a lot about Find Nothing, which is where I get most of my furniture that I paint and upcycle. Go on, find your local Find Nothing group. If you're curious to try a piece of furniture, find something that's old and, just start there and put paint on it and see how that makes you feel. If you're interested in sewing, go to your local library. They usually have sewing and knitting classes there for free, like weekly groups that get together. Find a place to participate in. See what makes you feel good and keep doing that because that is what you deserve. All right, everybody, I'm Sharon from Accidental Art Maker. I hope you have a lovely evening. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe, please follow, please do all the things, please share. And I hope you have a great night. Talk to you guys later. Bye.